Hello, we are from Group 1A, and in this opportunity, we would like to present our integrated design project. Before we continue it, let me introduce our teams. First, my name is Kelvin Rosteven, and there is Faradia, and also Ahyani Putri Fadila, and also Anissa Chandra, and the last member is Faizul Kobita Mimi. So we will continue it to the presentation. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Anissa Chandra, and today I will explain about reaction engineering one part of biodiesel. So, reactor is a vessel or stage that allows two or more substances to interact chemically, or also known as a tool to convert reactant into product. So, we can say that reactor also well known as the core of chemical process. By implementation of reaction engineering knowledge, we may be able to choose the best reactor of biodiesel production process that had a minimized cost but have a maximum value of yield. So, in this report, we choose CSTR as our reactor. So for acidification stage is the part when CPO is being pumped into the cooler, so the temperature will decrease from 110 into 60 degrees Celsius to achieve operating condition. So the reaction is fatty acid plus methanol turns into biodiesel plus water. And next is acidification, where CPO plus methanol turns into biodiesel and glycerol. So this one is a well-known process for producing biodiesel, which involves a chemical reaction between oil and short-chain alcohol such as methanol and ethanol in the presence of suitable catalysts to produce fatty acid, alkyl esters such as biodiesel and glycerin as byproducts. So on this process, the catalyst that are using is NaOH. So, as I mentioned before, the reactor that our group choosing is CSTR. So, the reason is because CSTR is continuous flow process, typically requires integrated process controls and online monitoring of product quality. And also, it is operating in ideal state. So, some assumption that is being using for this experiment is negligible heat loss. The process is steady state. CSTR is assumed to be in its thermal condition, and the gas is assumed to be an ideal gas and negligible impurity. So to maximize product selectivity, we think we must first determine our FFA content to choose our catalyst, and then using the optimal mixing speed, and then using a non-reactive co-solvent, and adjust the suitable temperature. So for reactor sizing, for the first reactor, based on CSTR calculation, we obtained 1049.332 meters cube, and for the second CSTR is 2690.54 meter cube. I think that's it.
This is a simulation that we use in this project. For the feed stream, we use oleic acid as fatty acid, methanol as the alcohol, and chloride acid as catalyst. After that, we use the mixer to mix all of the feed. The mixture entering the first CSTR, then we input trioline as crude palm oil and natrium hydroxide as catalyst. All of this then become a mixture and entering the second CSTR. Then we derive the mathematical model for each component, which you can see here for component A, for component B, component C, and component D. And this is the energy balance for CSTR first. And this is the mass balance for CSTR2. And this is the energy balance for the CSTR2. And when the temperature is decreased, the mass flow of bioethanol is increasing. On the other hand, when the composition of methanol is increased or decreased, the reaction couldn't be simulated. It showed that the composition of each reactant should be fit, so the reaction could running. If the flow rate is decreased, the mass flow of biodiesel also decrease.
Okay, so here for our separation process of raw block diagram. From this figure, the feed or unrefined biodiesel containing methanol, biodiesel, or methyl alkylate and glycerol enters the feed from the evaporator. It separates methanol by the steam that enters the evaporator. Next, it flows to the cooler to decrease the temperature from 70 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius. After that, it goes to membrane to separate into M-oleate and glycerol and also glycerol.
From the previous explanation, we know that we are using the membrane separation technology. So the membrane system that we use is the hollow fiber type. which could enhance the treatment of effluents and valuable product recovery, hence minimizing the harmful effects and offering solution to many ecological problems that engineering commonly face during the refining of crude biodiesel. This biodiesel that we are talking is about the palm oil. So using the polyacrylonitrile membrane that tested before by Atadashi 2014, it said that it's able to eliminate the glycerol. So due to the effect, we decided to use the membrane technology separation using polyacrylonitrile membrane as our main separation methods to get the high quality biodiesel as demanded.
Here is the membrane calculation. As you can see in the block diagram on the left side, the input of this membrane is from the previous process, which contained biodiesel and glycerol. And the output, we can get the separated M-oleate and the glycerol. The main goal of this membrane process is to separate the M-oleate and glycerol to get the refined biodiesel. So in this project, the required output biodiesel is a high quality 3,000 tons per year, or we can get 0.095 kilogram per second. So the L output we can get from the ratio, so we can get the LO is 0.098 kilogram per second. Here is the assumption that we use in this process. The low pressure side is 4.5 bar, the high pressure side is 25 bar, and the membrane thickness is 0.4. And the permeability of each substance is already calculated. So we can calculate the membrane selectivity, the R value, and the YP value using the A, B, and C value. Next, we can calculate the overall mass balance with the known data of output rate. Then we can use the glycerol balance to finish it. So the feed rate is 0.337 kilogram per second, and the VP is 0.239 kilogram per second. Using this data, we can calculate the area. So we must measure the theta first, and then we get the membrane area, which is 118,924.99 meters squares. So we can calculate the flux, which is the permeability that had been shown before. So the flux of M-oleate is 0.01, and the flux for glycerol is 0.098. So using this calculation, we already meet the requirement of this project, which is we can get 3,000 tons per year, and we can get the feed rate for the next calculations.
Okay, the next separator unit is the evaporator that we use before entering the membrane process. So the function of the evaporator is to evaporate the methanol contains in the feed flow. So the feed contained entering the evaporator using the steam to rise the temperature of the methanol until its boiling point. So the methanol could become the vapor and separated only the feed. So, and beside there's the mass balance of the evaporator calculation. As from here we can see for each mass calculation for each component, and below is the heat balance of the evaporator. Using the T temperature reference is 20 degrees Celsius. So, and from here we can see the energy from each component and also each flow. So from here we can conclude that the steam energy that we need to evaporate the methanol is around 105,997 kilojoule.
Okay, next we have cooler here. The main purpose of this cooler is to decrease the temperature of the compound. So when it goes to membrane, it can separate with a good value. In cooler, we already get from previous calculations of some data. Then we can proceed to calculate the heat balance here. So we get the energy for cooler is 43.82642 kilojoule.
We can conclude that considering all processes of biodiesel production, the reactor that are being chosen is CSTR due its low investment cost, its suitability for liquid-liquid reactions, and ease of design. Based on the calculation, the volume of CSTR used is 1,049.3 decimeter cubic and 2,069.5 decimeter cubic. Separation method that used in the process to get a high quality biodiesel is membrane technology separation using polyacrylonitrile or PAN to separate glycerol from the stream that contains of biodiesel, methyl oleate and glycerol. Other separation methods also used, such as evaporators, to remove methanol from the stream and recover the methanol, raising the temperature to the boiling point around 70 degrees of Celsius. Overall, the calculation is shown in the report, with the mass rate production of biodiesel predicted could reach 3,000 tons per year as the demand.